Aquarius, welcome back to my channel. Today we are looking at the week of July the 11th until July 17th, 2021, coming to the end of Cancer season. And we are going to take a look at what you need to be paying attention to right now. I will be doing clarifiers. I'm going to do a 6-card spread again, same as last week, because I enjoyed how those readings came together. It felt good. So we will venture that direction again. As always, these are general readings and they may not resonate for you, which is absolutely okay. Let's focus on getting into your higher vibes, and anything that is not aligned with that today, just let it go. Whoa. Clumsy today. Okay, Aquarius, got some stuff on your mind right now. The overall energy of what's weighing you down is this being sort of caught up in the past more than anything else. It is living in a state of reflection right now, probably spending a lot of time just, considering days gone by, what they included, where they have left you, and what direction you want to move into. In the energies here, really interesting. We've got a couple of 10s coming up here. We're approaching the end of a cycle in something, Aquarius, which is demanding a lot of your attention right now, a lot of it. Coming up for you, we have Queen of Swords, 4 of Cups, the High Priestess, 10 of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles. So nothing overly negative happening here, Aquarius, but you are in a place right now where you're stuck in your head, caught up in your thoughts. I think it's coming from a place of trying to break through and push through to the end of this cycle. But it may feel very, very heavy right now. It's almost as if you're spending all of your time looking in a mirror, reflecting back on yourself, reflecting on how you are then reflecting out into the world. We've used that word a lot here in the last few minutes, but that's what it's looking like. So you're in a space right now, Aquarius, where you are in your power, but there's a bit of an energy of it's lonely at the top right now. So maybe you have recently clawed your way up to the top of something or worked very hard to get there. And now it's like, okay, I've done that. I've achieved the goal. But what do I do next? What comes after it? I hadn't planned for the fallout. I hadn't planned for what comes after I reached the top. I don't know where I'm going next. So for you right now, Aquarius, there is a need to focus on planning, on looking at what the next steps are now that you are where you want to be. You're not feeling as fulfilled as you thought you might be when you got there. So if that's resonating for you, I mean, there's an obvious call to need to look inside. Right now, you're so focused on where you are, what you've achieved, the path that you got there. I'd say you're probably replaying that path quite a bit right now in your mindset. And as a result, we're not listening to ourselves. We're not saying, okay, here I am. How does it feel? And what do I need to do to make that feeling change? Or what do I need to do to preserve that feeling if I'm now in a space where like I'm really excited and accomplished in where I am? It's an interesting little bit of energy here in like, okay, I've made it to where I thought I wanted to go, and now I'm not entirely sure if it's what's serving me, if it's what's going to line me up to get into that long-term happiness, success, and abundance that I was hoping it would. So you may find yourself kind of in an internal argument right now of, is this really where I want to be? Or is this where I thought I wanted to be, but actually it's taught me a bunch of things about where I actually want to go? So we will do some clarifying and determine. It's kind of a rough place to be in, isn't it, Aquarius, when like we achieve a goal, and I would say this was a lofty one for you that takes a lot of our time and takes a lot of our energy, and then we get there and we're like, oh, I don't actually know if this is what I wanted. I don't actually know if I feel happy with this. Let's clarify the 5 of Cups. Like, obviously there's a bit of heavy emotion going on for you right now. 2 of Materials, 3 of Voices, and the 9 of Emotions. Yeah, I thought this is going to feel better than it does. I thought that this was going to be me reaching, the thing that felt like everything I wanted. And now that I'm here, you know, I'm a little bit let down. I'm not actually sure that it has like brought the balance and joy and happiness to my life that I expected it was going to. And now I'm reflecting back on, well, what made me choose to go on this path? Why did I end up here? Why was this so important to me? And also, like, now that I'm here, why am I not feeling it? And maybe you just haven't had enough time to really like decompress from the journey. Or maybe you've reached the top of that mountain and you're like, oh shoot, what I'm looking at down below isn't actually in alignment with my values, with my goals. It's not actually putting me on a path to move me forward in the ways that I want to. Let's look at the Queen of Swords. You're very much your energy, Aquarius. Some big air energy. 10 of Materials coming up again. The Sun and the Ace of Inspiration. Okay, yeah. For you, you were like, okay, this is going to be my happiness. This is going to be the pursuit of my passion. This is where I wanted to set myself up to be long term. This is where I thought I was going to be able to really lay my roots, put my foundation in, and then settle in. This may be a workplace goal that you have for yourself, maybe a relationship goal, but certainly you were been trying to position yourself. And you're like, if I reach that position, it's going to set me up for long term. I'll be able to get in there, do exactly what I want to do, and build the life that I'm really wanting from there and around that. And I'll feel inspired, and I'll feel abundant, and I'll feel happy. And now that you're sitting there, you're like, is that actually how I'm feeling? Did I get here and it was all, you know, kind of for nothing? But I do want to remind you as well, Aquarius, that you know, happiness and abundance are also part of mindset. If you're not feeling that in here, then like any part of your external world is not going to impose that on you. Okay, happiness comes from inside first, and then it reflects into our outside spaces. Now we'll look at the 10 of Wands that came up as well. This sort of energy of maybe wanting to cut and run a little bit here. Whoop, Queen of Materials just came flying out and landed on top of it. Shimmy you down. 9 of Materials and the Hermit. Yeah, Aquarius, it's like you've become this powerful, abundant, independent being. You did it on your own. I don't see this as being something that people supported you into getting. You really had to work very hard for this. Remember that like claw your way to the top sort of analogy that I made earlier. You've done this for yourself. And maybe now you're feeling like it's lonely at the top, or maybe you're feeling like, you know, what I actually want is to be able to work collaboratively with others. But something about achieving this goal for you has not felt as fulfilling as you anticipated it was going to. We'll look at the 10 of Pentacles as well, because it has come up twice now for you. 7 of Inspiration, Page of Voices, and the 6 of Voices. Yeah. There's this energy of like, Aquarius, it's almost like, you know, maybe you're somebody who, with your air-like energy, you know, likes to be transient. You're somebody who, like, Aquarius is a fixed sign, but you are still a fixed air sign. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of movement when there comes to air. There's a lot of want for variety. And now maybe that you've reached this lofty goal that you really thought was like, okay, I'll be able to root in, I'm going to stay here long term. And now that you're facing the notion that I might be here long term, what is that rising for you emotionally? What is that making you feel? Is it bringing up a feeling of being trapped or stuck? Because it's almost like you've immediately reached it and now you're like, wow, okay, I proved to myself that I was able to do this on my own. I'm highly independent. I've done the thing, and now I'm set up for that long-term success, but I don't know if I want to stay here, because I actually think that maybe the climb was more rewarding for me than the view from the top. And now I'm looking to find somewhere else to go, somewhere else where maybe I'll be able to feel safe to stay for the long term. So this brings up a lot of questions for you, Aquarius, in like what makes you happy. And if it's always the climb, then maybe we need to reevaluate what our goals are right now in order to focus on always being in a place of sort of chasing and somehow making that the long-term situation. Because it really feels to me that in your mind's eye right now, it's the chase, it's not the attaining. Because now you've attained and you're immediately like, okay, well now what? How am I just supposed to stay here forever? So if you're feeling like you've got some itchy feet now that you've reached the top, really sit with those emotions and understand what the emotional response is that's coming up for you and why you might be feeling that way. Is there a way that you can build that sense of reaching in the role you're in now? And that way you can have that fulfillment of newness, of novelty, of chasing, while also being able to root and grow and develop a long-term committed sense of whatever it is. I do think this is probably rooted in your work life for you. So if you are somebody who is a little bit flighty, these may be emotions that are coming up for you. But I would encourage you to really sit with them. If you've reached the top of this goal and you are genuinely like not happy, don't feel like it's actually as aligned with your values and morals as you were hoping it would be, that's one thing. But if it's that, okay, I've been working, and now I've reached the top, now I don't know what to do because I'm not working anymore, then maybe we need to reevaluate what our relationship with work is like. Maybe we need to reevaluate what our relationship with feeling fulfilled or like obtaining goals feels like. And really sit with, why are these emotions surfacing for me? And what specific emotions are surfacing for me? It's not just that I'm unhappy, okay? Are you scared? Are you bored? Are you feeling stuck? Things like that. So really try to get to the heart of things, sit with yourself. I see that you are not paying attention to your internal voice right now. You're so focused on what's going on around you and your brain being like, all right, what next, what next, what next? Because like you've been in work mode. So now we need to actively decompress a little bit. Your brain is used to having to go to get you to here. And now that you're here and you're in a state of being able to plateau, being able to rest a little bit, that may be just causing panic because you feel like you should be working. Okay, so really consider why you might be feeling this way. If you genuinely don't feel aligned with what you're doing anymore, then yeah, maybe we need to move on. But if it's just this like fear of being tethered down or this need for novelty, are there ways that you can do that, achieve that, and have that where you are right now? I hope this is helpful to you, Aquarius. If it was, please do subscribe, leave me a comment and a thumbs up if this resonated. I'll see you back here next week.